Welcome to 5 Minute Chapters, the podcast where we summarize important writings on education and learning. I'm your host, Daniel Bowe, and in today's episode, we'll be discussing how to implement techniques from Chapter 18, How to Create an Effective Lesson, taken from Harry Wong's Implementation Guide for the First Days of School. Creating an effective lesson is crucial for student success. When lesson objectives are clear and instruction and assessment are aligned, the chances of students achieving their learning goals greatly increase. In this chapter, Harry Wong shares valuable insights and strategies for designing and implementing effective lessons. Let's dive in and explore how we can put these techniques into action in our classrooms. The key idea in this chapter is that learning is not about what the teacher covers. It's about what the student accomplishes. To ensure students learn and achieve, we need to focus on clear objectives, aligned instruction, and assessment. Here's how you can implement these techniques in your classroom. Determine the student accomplishments. Start by identifying what you want your students to achieve through the lesson. This will serve as the foundation for your objectives. Write clear and concise lesson objectives. Craft objectives that are specific, measurable, and achievable. Begin each objective with a verb that indicates the desired action or skill. For example, instead of saying, students will understand photosynthesis, you can write, students will be able to explain the process of photosynthesis. Ensure students know the objectives. It's crucial to communicate the objectives to your students. Clearly explain what they are expected to accomplish and why it's important. When students are aware of the objectives, they take ownership of their learning. Share objectives and instructions with students and their families. Post the objectives in the classroom or send them home to parents and guardians. This creates a collaborative learning environment and helps everyone stay informed about the goals of the lesson. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on the effective teacher's role in implementing these techniques. As an effective teacher, you should utilize state or district standards and curriculum guides to formulate your lesson objectives. By using the learning triangle, a tool that aligns objectives, instruction, and assessment, you can ensure coherence in your lessons. Writing clear and succinct lesson objectives is another essential skill. Your objectives should precisely state what students are expected to accomplish. Remember to keep them student-centered and action-oriented. It's equally important to keep your students, parents, and guardians informed about the lesson objectives. Regularly communicate the objectives and emphasize their relevance to student learning and achievement. When everyone is on the same page, student engagement and success are more likely to occur. Let's address some common questions that arise when implementing these techniques. First, why isn't the unit on lesson mastery in Unit A of this book, and is instead this far in? The chapter highlights that the focus of schools and teachers should be on helping students learn and achieve. Lesson mastery comes later in the process once clear objectives and effective instructional practices are established. Why do some students not complete their assignments? This could be due to various reasons such as lack of clarity in instruction or objectives, disengagement, or a need for additional support. By ensuring clear objectives and effective assignments, you can promote greater student completion rates. What's wrong with an assignment that simply states the chapter and a test? Such assignments lack clarity and specificity. Students need clear instructions on what they're expected to do or learn and what evidence of completion is required. Now let's bring Bloom's taxonomy into the picture. It's a framework for categorizing different levels of student response to instruction. By incorporating Bloom's taxonomy in your lesson planning, you can ensure that you address a range of cognitive skills and promote deeper learning. Here are some discussion questions to reflect on and engage with your colleagues. Answer in the comment section below. What are some ways you can implement effective assignments with end results in mind? How can you ensure the word doing plays a central role in student learning? Who benefits more from using objectives, the student or the teacher? In today's episode, we explored techniques from Chapter 18 of Harry Wong's implementation guide for the first days of school on how to create an effective lesson. By focusing on clear objectives, aligned instruction, and assessment, we can create an environment that promotes student learning and achievement. Remember, effective assignments occur when teachers teach with the end results in mind. Keep those objectives clear and visible. Thank you for joining me on 5-Minute Chapters. Until next time, when we get into the next chapter of the book, keep exploring new ways to empower your students. This has been Daniel Bowe for 5-Minute Chapters, because even teachers need Cliff's Notes sometimes.